Think about your life before that terrible or bad event happened, quote unquote, to you, but for you. Ask yourself what led to that. What were you resisting? What were you not being honest with yourself about? What were you clinging to? Oftentimes, what feels like the worst thing ever is the thing that frees us from the thing that we were clinging to for comfort, from a false sense of security. That shift needed to happen in your life. That shift was your chance, your opportunity for something new. It's up to you to change your perspective and take it. Take it as an opportunity for self growth and to make the changes in your life that you were avoiding before that event happened because you were complacent, because you were comfortable. Many people miss this opportunity because after the event, they become a victim to the circumstance and they lose sight of the full picture. They miss the opportunity for growth, to start living the life that their soul was yearning for. They instead wallow in their pain. They play the blame game, meaning often blame others. They distract themselves, numb themselves, or escape. Don't miss this crucial opportunity to make radical changes in your life. And on a spiritual level, your soul asked for this. So take this opportunity before the door closes. I hear a lot of people say that they don't believe in signs. And I think that's interesting because signs are everywhere. Signs are so crucial to pay attention to because they can be the thing that stops you from making the wrong turn, making it could just be the biggest change in your life. For example, our body gives us signs before it turns into something bigger and all of a sudden we have a health condition. We literally have signs on the road to help us stay in check, you know? Our car gives us signs when it needs to get freaking oil change. I mean, these are okay, I'm veering off a little bit, but the body part is a really good thing. So if your body gives you signs before something happens or it tells you, it lets you know, which I guess people can say is science. Okay, so anyways, I tried. But the point is, if you don't believe in signs, it's okay. You're on the wrong place. But I sure do. And it's not that I sit here and I'm looking for signs. If you're actively looking for signs, just like you leave your house and you're like looking up, down, left, right, da da da, like that. Or yeah, you can overdo it and be like, oh my, that's a sign. Or you try to like make connections to things that don't, da da da. I can understand that. But when you're just like living your life and like your energy, your attention gets like diverted to something whether you wanted it to or not, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you may see it and you don't mean anything, but then you'll see something else, and then in the back of your mind, I don't know how to really describe it to anybody who don't understand. When I say signs, I mean the connections to life. The in my opinion, everything is connected. And if you don't believe in that, then it's okay. But I believe in that there are connections, and they have been very important to me in my life. Thank goodness I have paid attention to certain signs and maybe certain other ones I didn't, like these major ones in my life, but there has been times where I paid attention to the signs. And honestly, I was actually grateful for the signs that I received, even if I like did not even if I ignored multiple of them until I just didn't listen. You can see signs and you can also be hard headed and all that. But anyways, the point is, on this day I received the biggest sign that I think I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say the biggest sign when it comes to like receiving a message. Um and like even like through like for example social media, I'm very wary about like posts that come on social media, because here's the thing. I do believe that like you can get sent, like I believe, this is my belief, okay? I do believe, in God, in higher power. I call that higher power God, or just I also believe in, that we all have a spirit team, we have guides, we have ancestors. That's my belief, okay? You can have your own beliefs. At the end of the day, you guys know how I feel if you've been here before. It really doesn't matter. The words don't matter. It's the knowing that there is something higher than us. And everybody has their own names to it. But the point is, I believe that higher power, which I'm gonna call God, because that's just my thing. But yeah, God gives us signs in the ways that we can understand them. So, for example, if I'm a person, if God can see and knows that I'm on social media often, um, or just certain things like that, he'll give us signs in the ways, like say for example, if I'm not always, if I'm in my house most of the time, then there needs to be ways that God could give me signs that is within that space. If I don't ever get out the house and then end up, end up running into somebody organically, and then they end up telling me something that changes my life or something like that. I think nowadays the signs that like God gives us, especially people who are intentional, who are on a spiritual path, and who are like also watching things that are like helpful, that are good, you know? I don't know how to describe that. But anyways, I just feel like I'm very wary about considering things that I see on social media as a sign. Um because of how the algorithm works. You can literally like watch something and then like it, and then the algorithm will keep sending you that, and then some people will start to take that as a sign, because their whole page is filled with all the reasons why they should hate like a man, like men or women or whatever, or why it's men's fault or women's fault. And then they can have this idea that, see, everybody else thinks that, when it's like, no, your algorithm the algorithm is algorithming. It's giving you more of that. So then you have this narrative in your mind that this is what everybody, but like how everybody views things, and that's not the truth. So I think in that sense you need to be careful. But when it comes to like something random that you don't look at, you don't watch often, and I think it's a feeling. So the point of what I'm trying to say is, I randomly was driving, and I was driving from work, from getting my check actually. And I remember driving and then like looking down, because I think I was gonna play some music or something, but I looked down and like my hand had accidentally like pulled up a YouTube video, and the title of this is what the YouTube video was. It said, "You must let go," and immediately my stomach sunk. So that right there was an example of like, if you get an emotional reaction to something, I just feel like you would know. Like, I feel like if you're intuitive, like if you're connected, you would know if something was actually for you, or if it's just something that is like playing on your like insecurities or thoughts or whatever the case may be. So I guess I don't really know how to describe it, just a feeling. Just like if any feeling that you get, if you are, in tune with your intuition, if you are in tune with that, like you will understand like what's for you, what's not, what's aligned, what's not. This felt aligned, but I did not want to open it. but I had to because it was there, and I remember contemplating like, should I even listen watch this? I don't even want to listen to this because I already am devastated that this is showing up, and I'm also like, God, why? And this was also after me kind of being living like trying to like being delusional and seeing all the signs. I have received so many signs, but still not, like just being stubborn about it, or thinking I could fix it, or I could work it out, or I could change something. I mean, literally. But then it's like, anyways, hey, the human part of me was taken over. Then this, I mean, there's more context to the story, but I'm trying to leave the details out that don't matter, and I'm trying to take the lesson from this, okay? Because that's how I want to present this journey of mine, and try to just focus on the lesson and not the details that don't matter. So yeah, anyways, I ended up watching the video reluctantly, but I knew that was a sign. That was God sent of like, you need to watch this. So I watched it, and I was devastated, and there is no words to how I felt after it, because when something is so true, you know it in your soul, you know it at the deepest level, but you don't want to believe it. You don't. It's like, but you have no choice but to believe it, because it's looking you straight in the eye. When the truth is looking you straight in the eye, but you don't even want to see that shit, you're not even ready to accept it. So yeah, that's where I was in that. So that's like a little context to this story, like these screenshots you're seeing. And then I took a picture of myself, which isn't, I only did this because I know I was documenting, I've already said. So I just took a picture to show you guys like the reality with snot running down my nose, and knew that I was gonna be having to repost this at some point or sharing this. So and then also throughout the day, randomly these other posts, like okay, so I probably should have put the post in order, but I didn't receive the post after that, like anyways, it doesn't really matter. I'm being too focused on the details. But just know the other posts are posts that I had screenshotted throughout the day. And they just so happened to align, with everything that I was like with. So those are examples of like, oftentimes when we are reaching an like ending or a transition, we do receive signs, but people who don't really believe in those things, or don't even, or not even, you don't even understand that, like, or believe that things are connected, blah blah blah, they just don't. Then things happen, and then I believe, in my belief, because I'm speaking from experience of before I even had this mindset of signs or synchronicities or whatever, would be like shocked when something would happen in life that threw me off, and then I would start to feel like, I have bad luck, or woe is me, or everything, see, nothing works out for me, or these like negative thoughts, you become in this victim mode. But when you start to understand like the bigger picture of things, then you can rewire your mindset of that, and actually understand that this was like an opportunity. This was something that was intended for you because of whatever, da 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 da. So yeah, I just wanted to like share that, because this was definitely like a big piece. This was literally the answer. This was like, imagine, yeah, this is the epitome. This is without like, this is the most direct way that God could have like told me what needed to happen before. This is the warning before everything, before clearly you guys are gonna find out, like, obviously, like, before I was forced, because I mean, so just know this plain and clear to my eyeballs, okay? Even though I just felt like there was still a part of me where I'm like, oh, well, this is social media, or still part of me was like, this is social media, like, is this even like, anything can come in social media. It's still like that little doubt or whatever, or still thinking I could fix something or I can change something. those who know will know, and then we also know what we know the outcome of that. So there's the context. And now we are going to go into my journal entry from that day. And as per usual, I'm going to share a little clip of that. And then if you want to listen to the full journal entry, you can watch that and listen to that on my Patreon. Chasing feels like a person who doesn't know their worth. Lesson: stop running towards what's running away. Stand still in your worth and let what's aligned run towards you. Entry number 2, June 16th, 2025.